Spencer here checking in for the beginning of April, though technically it is March 31st. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon here in Chicago. So I'm really squeezing this video in the final hour. I also can't believe I'm wearing a sweater at the end of March, but it snowed here, so this is where we're at. Needless to say, I am desperately anticipating that week in Vegas here coming up because I need some vitamin D and some hot desert heat. So bring it on, Vegas. I am ready for you. Since it is the final hour here and I am really stretching to get this out in time, I think that this video is just going to do a first quarter update on where I stand with my goals. I think this is a good time for a check-in. But before we do that, I just want to mention again how super excited I am about Vegas. It's coming up here in like 2 weeks. I actually leave on the 13th, so I will be there for almost a solid week, like 6 days. So I'm really looking forward to it. I am super excited to perform. I have gotten my act finished. I put it on stage here a few times this last month, and I will be putting it on again here the couple more times I'm performing before I leave. And really now I'm just like getting into the music and getting familiar with the costume and just working everything out on stage, which is really where I wanted to be going into this competition. So there's that. Also, the big announcement I teased last month with the Bachelor Pad will be launching here. Keep an eye out on the Bachelor Pad page for April 8th in like 1 week. So excited. Yeah. All right, let's get on with the goals update. Working on 2 to 3 new acts. Well, got one done, on stage, ready to go, costume done, choreography done, doing the moving, it's happening. That one's done. Check that first act. Second act, I have a costume mostly done. I have a song completed. I just need to finish the costume so I can flesh out some choreography, and then that will be 2 acts. If I can, I would like to try to find a song and choreograph an act with my feather fans and that like watermelon colored costume that we talked about in one of my previous videos, and that would be 3. If I can just finish the second one, I'm great with 2. The third one would be just sort of an added bonus for the month, or for the year. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that for the first quarter, we're looking good for this goal. I'm feeling good about this. Learn to play the piano. As I longingly look over to it. I have not touched it since before last month's check-in, probably, at least that. I look at it every day. It just hasn't been a priority. I did buy a couple of new books to help me teach myself to sight read and maybe learn a song or 2. I think that might help me build some momentum. I think the biggest struggle for this for me is that it feels really overwhelming to try to learn it on my own. Maybe it's something I need to find a teacher for. Maybe that will give me some focus. I don't know. Hopefully I pick it back up again. Every day I intend to. I get distracted by something else, and things have been really crazy right now with other things, life in general. So hopefully I can get back to this one soon because I really do still want to learn. Work on video editing. I think I mentioned the last time we talked about this. This one has pretty much fallen to the wayside. I anticipated at least one goal would. That's usually the case. I didn't really expect it to be this one, but I just have been completely overwhelmed with other projects. The Chicago School of Burlesque, which I'll be talking about in the next goal, has really been crazy. I've been spending a lot of time on that and trying to get some hustle going in my other daytime job and doing the act for Viva. I just haven't had time or the interest. This is another thing where sometimes self-teaching myself things is hard. I'm much better by learning by doing, and watching a video and trying to do it doesn't necessarily achieve the same thing for me. So I'm not completely writing this off because again, it's only the first quarter of the year, but I definitely have not even like tried to look into anything related towards this goal. Maybe later in the year when I feel like things have calmed down a little bit in other areas. Developing a studio calendar. This is happening finally. The first 3 months of the year have been a little bit hectic. I've kind of been flying by the seat of my pants, just adding workshops here and there as they come up. The good news is that interest has been picking up. My website, people have been finding the website, people have been finding the Instagram account, people have been coming to classes. So it's really great. I'm super, super excited because I'm in the final stages of lining up the first kind of like session of classes that are all going to be 8-week classes with a performance opportunity at the end, which I think is really great to help get new performers more stage time. I'm very fortunate that I do have a group of instructors who are very enthusiastic and really supportive of the school, and I think it's going to be really great. I'm really excited. Announcements for those classes should be going out here in the next week or so, so they will be starting in May, and I'm really looking forward to that. So the studio calendar has been good. In addition to things through the studio calendar and doing the student showcase performances now, I've also been working with another local producer and performer and general badass, Hot Tawdry. I would love to say she's a good friend of mine. We do work together quite often. We have very similar personalities and motivations. And so she and I are actually in the process of producing a new show here in Chicago, specifically for performers who are newer, so less than 3 years of stage time experience, as a way to help people get some more shows and more stage time under their belts. Because Chicago can be a very hard city to really get into if you don't have that experience behind you. So we're really excited. We just met with a venue today and we have a date for June for the first show. And so we are full speed ahead on that. It's called Rising Star Cabaret. Check it out on Instagram. We're very excited about this opportunity. It's going to be good, but it has been busy. Grow Live and Lucky. I have sent 15 emails to venues. I'm trying to get out to places, introduce myself to people, let them see me. I'm trying to get Live and Lucky into the city. I think that just getting it into the city, as much as I love Out of Space in Berwyn, they're wonderful to us. I really think getting it into the city is going to help grow interest, which is then going to help me make more money in the shows, pay people more. It's very cyclical in that regard. Plus, a lot of the performers are Chicago-based within the city. Some of the musicians are, and this is just a really thriving city for live music. And I am plugging as hard as I can to try and find a place. And I am putting it out into the universe that some good fortune will happen this year. I did get one venue that wrote back that expressed interest, but we're working out some details. So we'll see where that goes, but I'm trying. This one I'm finding way more difficult than I ever thought that I would, because Chicago is such a great community for live music, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the burlesque piece. Places that do live music don't want to have the burlesque piece. Maybe it's just because they don't know who I am yet. I'm not sure. Could be a whole bunch of factors, but I'm trying. Hopefully so sometime soon. Get healthy and stretch more. Well, with the exception of the 2 weeks that I had to completely stop doing everything because of a foot injury, I have been working really hard on getting to the gym on a regular basis, doing some stretching. I need to be doing more stretching. I acknowledge that. Much more stretching. But getting to the gym regularly and back on that schedule has been great. The pandemic was making that really rough. So I'm happy to be back at the gym regularly. Now, post foot injury, I still have some pain, so I'm trying to be cautious about what I do and don't do, especially because I do still need to perform during this time. So hopefully running will pick back up again, but I'm feeling better about it. I'm also trying to wean myself off of that snacking behavior that I reestablished during quarantine. I'm a bored eater. I've always known that about myself, so I try not to have too many snacks, and living with a partner who enjoys a late night snack and me with my sweet tooth, it's been difficult. So I'm not trying to like cut food out of my diet. I'm just trying to eat better so I feel better and not like completely just inhaling all the food in front of me to the point where I feel overstuffed. It's really just maintaining things based on how I feel instead of calories or what's in it or what's not. Not a big fan of the word diet, but diet in the context of the overall amount of food or what kind of food I'm eating. I will never be able to give up my sweet tooth. I acknowledge that. I am turning 40 this year. It's not going anywhere, and I'm totally okay with that. So yep, that is what I have for you this month. I apologize. It's very frantic and probably not as organized as I'd like to. One of these days I'm going to sit down and really put together a very thought out and concise video for you all where I don't just ramble on for 7 minutes. That's another goal. We'll add that to the list along with the video editing. Anyways, exciting things. Word on the street is that Viva Las Vegas is going to be live streaming the competition on their Instagram account, Viva Las Vegas. And that is on April 16th on Saturday night. So if you're curious about checking it out, highly recommend just peeking there. I think they did it last year, so I don't see why they wouldn't do it again this year. Yeah, so wish me luck and hope for spring to knock on Chicago's door soon, because I am done with this winter. Talk to you soon.